All right, good day everyone. Welcome to another episode of the GSR podcast. This time on little cleaning tips for a big difference. Sa wakas naka-episode 2 tayo. Let's go. Anyway, today I am not alone, thank God. I am joined by our property management head, Mr. Ian Cipriano.
Hello, good morning, everyone.
So I'm basically going to poke at his brain and see what insights we can dine from mga cleaning tips and ganyan from the perspective of a property management head. This time so that we can get his wishes for what the tenants did and critique maybe and tips for what the tenants didn't do, mga ganyan. So anyway, let's get right. Oh, right. My name is Jose Angelo Zulueta for the people who are tuning in for the first time. Hi. Main yapper here to use Gen Z terms. All right, sige, let's get right to it. So, Sir Ian, basically, I'm just going to be asking you about some things regarding yung mga units in the before, during, and after for the management time and what the best practices could have been for yung mga tenants nila so that it can stay clean. Because one of the main issues with property management is the after. Because when a unit is done being rented by a tenant, it's up to the property management head and their team to be able to make it like new, which means all of the stuff that you did in there, they're going to find out one way or another and they're going to have to fix it. So, ayun. So, what do you think are the best practices that you can do before you rent a unit out? Like when you're just starting your term na as a tenant, what are really good future-proofing practices you think that can be done regarding cleaning po?
Okay. To think first, parang ang simple nung topic eh. Pero actually, we had a lot of experience with this kind of thing na talagang we encountered big challenges. About your question, being a tenant, so the practices that I should do if I am a decent tenant is like for example, I need to maintain the unit as same as I move in. So parang before I move out or like every quarter I need to check it, like those necessities of cleaning the appliances, checking the drainage like that. And then especially yung mga pipelines natin, if it's condominium, duktong-duktong yan with the other units. So, if I'm not in the unit, I need to like put a cover for the drainage, even in the exhaust fan of the bathroom ceiling.
Okay.
So, because ito yung mga nagiging entry point ng mga insects eh.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and then those insects, if you notice, if for example, you leave the unit for almost 1 week, and then if you notice, there's a lot of like maliliit na dot, which is
yung mga insect droppings, no?
Yeah, insect droppings. So those insects came from those entry point, yung exhaust ng bathroom. If your window is sealed, and then if your main door bottom is sealed also, there's like a rubber thing that we need to we're buying and then we're installing in the main door. So, and then the drainage, because it's like there's an access from other unit.
Okay. That makes me feel less bad about having insects whenever I see them, because it's like, I'm trying my best to be clean, pero but may mga bugs pa.
Yeah. Sa mga thousands units na we're handling here in Makati and BGC, that's talagang namin eh. Parang nag-imbestiga yung cleaning team. Parang saan ba nanggagaling talaga to? Because 2 days ago, we had a major cleaning. And then there's a viewing after that. Parang meron na naman na notice yung mga So
right.
it's
patapos na yung major
cleaning. It's parang for the tenant, if they saw it during the viewing time, parang it's for me as a tenant, okay, parang may mga parang bugs and insects na pumapasok dito, which is I'm not parang comfortable to live.
Tama po.
So for the tenant, yes, take care of that. Always cover those drainage. And then there's parang nabibiling na exhaust cover may nabibili. And then aside from that, hindi lang insects even yung smell from other units. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite way of dealing with those? Like, I have two questions. One, and this isn't related to insects, but it is related to drainage. How damaging is it to use decloggers like liquid salsa sa mga drainage? That's number one. And number two is, do you have a favorite way of dealing with yung mga insects and yung mga persistent smells? Like, what's your go-to? Air purifiers, yung mga insect traps that you stick to the walls, yung mga insect solution na syringes that you put in the crevices. What are your personal favorite ways of dealing with those issues that you've seen work?
Siguro dealing with them
Mm.
using air purifier and then those like insect killer. It's just a temporary solution because you can just kill them. But
Babalik sila.
nasa unit na. Siguro we need to prevent yung entry point nila kung paano sila nakakapasok. Kasi what we are doing is yung mga standard drainage covered that we used to have after the turnover of the unit is yung walang cover. Pero may nabibili na ngayon sa mga hardware na may takip na.
Yung parang yung may mesh
Yes,
na takip.
pag gagamitin mo yung toilet or yung drainage, pwede mo na siyang buksan. Or pag hindi mo na siya gagamitin, pwede mo na siyang isara. Meron na talaga siyang metal na takip.
Oh, okay.
So, yun. You can prevent. And then, tuwing bubuksan naman, kung for example, tuwing bubuksan ko yun, for example, in my condo unit, matagal akong nawala, 1 week or ilang days akong nawala, bubuksan ko na binubuhusan ko ng boiled water, yung hot water.
Okay naman yan sa drainages? Hindi naman.
Okay naman sa drainages.
Okay.
Basta yung, kasi ang ginagamit naman natin dyan is yung mga 2x2 na orange pipe. So, pwede naman yun.
Heat
Tapos,
resistant naman sila.
yeah, heat resistant.
Okay.
Basta hindi naman yung laging, kasi ang problem ng mga orange pipe, pag nababad ng todo, kasi mag-free flow naman siya pag hugas mo eh.
Okay.
For example, yung ginagamit na pipe sa water heater should be PPR pipe kasi talagang nabababad siya sa init ng tubig ng ilang minutes. Etong pag binuhusan mo siya, dire-diretso lang siya.
Sorry, do you know what PPR stands for? I don't know what it stands for.
Actually, PPR, it's hindi ko
Pero basta
mabanggit.
PPR kung
Yeah, hindi ko
sasabihin mo
mabanggit.
sa
Hindi ko mabanggit yung ano niya, pinaka meaning ng PPR. Pero ano siya eh, white pipe siya na good for cold and hot water.
Specifically kapag for showers or
Yeah, for showers, yes.
Ganyan. Okay. All right. Boiled water. Okay, I'll be doing that. How often do you pour boiled water
Pag
down the
matagal
drain?
lang akong nawala sa unit.
So like once a
Hindi
week?
naman siya once a day one. Pag nagagamit ko every time yung pipe, it's okay because there's a water flow
Okay.
na nangyayari every day. Pero pag na-stuck siya, is parang naglulumot. So
Parang
dun,
nagmamold siya.
Yeah, nagmamold siya sa loob.
Build up. Try ko rin yan.
Yun yung nagkakos ng amoy. Kaya imagine if yung mga unit na binivisit namin, pag 1 month, 2 months na siyang hindi nabibisit, kahit sobrang linis niya, may amoy na parang kulob na na hindi mo maintindihan yung amoy. But it's coming from the pipelines.
Because there's our very helpful backstage marketing team has used the glorious powers of Google. PPR stands for polypropylene random copolymer pipes. Thank you very much,
you.
Sir Marco, Sir Hammond, and Miss Isa in the background.
Yeah.
Parang Joe Rogan yung Jamie, pull that up on Google real quick while we keep talking. Okay. I'm excited now to get back home and heat up some water para mayari lahat ng mga bugs dyan sa drainage.
Yes.
Oh wait, do you do that for the toilet bowls as well or just the kitchen sink?
Drainage ng bathroom, toilet bowl, you can use those, yung tablets.
Yeah.
Yeah, yung tablets. Kasi ang kinaganda sa toilet bowl, may na-maintain mo yung water level, meron doon. So, hindi talaga nakaka-enter yung mga insects. Sa drainage kasi, pag walang water activity, walang flow, natuyo siya, doon nakakagapang yung
Mga insects.
Yes,
Tapos
mga
dyan
insects.
yung moldy smell yung Okay. That's a really big help. Thank you so much, sir. Wait, what about for bathroom sinks? Sosa is safe on those too, no?
Yes, Sosa is safe. There's a required amount lang. It's I'm not sure kung ilan yon, pero it's indicated in the bottle. There's a required amount na na ilalagay mo doon. Tapos ang bawal siyang buhusan kagad ng tubig. Kailangan mong kasi ginagamit ng Sosa better dun sa may mga U-trap
Like kitchen sinks.
Kitchen sink, bathroom sink, may pa nga P-trap na tawagin na mayroon babaran. Kasi yung U-trap na yun yung pinaka nag-i-stay yung mga parang solid things na namumuo sa water. For example, yung mga sabon-sabon or yung mga
food scraps.
Yung mga dumi and food scraps for the kitchen sink. So, pwede yun. Kung sa kitchen sink naman, and then you have U-trap, and then you also have grease trap, it's okay, pero hindi naman talaga ibig sabihin kaya niyang linisin yung grease trap. Yung U-trap, yes, pwede niyang malinis yung na-stuck na dumi doon, pero dun sa grease trap kasi halos talaga nag-stuck. So, sa condominium, if you are very active on cooking, washing dishes, and then siguro every 3 months, i-check yung grease trap and cleaning. Kasi pag umabot yan ng 6 months or 1 year, tumitigas yan. So habang malambot pa, tapos hindi pa siya masyadong, medyo may amoy na, pero hindi naman siya masyadong nakakasuka, linisin na agad.
Okay,
kasi pag na-stuck siya, tapos titigas yan, didikit, and then mahirap na siyang linisin, you need na tool na nun, yung parang pang
ice picking, parang chisel.
Yeah.
Okay. So every 3 months kailangan nilinisin talaga yung grease trap. Tapos sa bathroom sink, mas maganda yung sosa kaysa sa boiled water kasi yung pipes niya mismo, yung dahilan kung ba't nagsastuck lahat ng mga debris dyan sa kitchen sink. Okay.
And then if we are a tenant, we should be concerned about this because we had a tenant like last month, like some of our tenants is like parang 1 year hindi nila nalinis yung grease trap.
Oh no.
And then nag-overflow na siya. So nag-overflow na siya, hindi nila napapansin kasi dahil grease trap area lang yun na nasa under sink cabinet. Tapos hindi nila halos nakikita, nag-overflow na-damage na yung
cabinet.
Yung cabinet.
Oh, okay.
So, yung cabinet naman na usually nasa condominium, good thing if the owner replace it for a marine. Pero kahit marine siya, hindi pa rin pwedeng mag-absorb ng water. Nag-overflow na, walang waterproofing usually talaga ang kitchen sink and then yung ilalim ng grease trap. Tumatagos na siya sa lower unit.
Oh no, okay.
So if we are not concerned on this, it might be deducted on tenant security deposit kapag nag-move out na sila. So malaki yun. You need to repair the cabinet, the damaged cabinet because it already absorbed water, and then the damage of the lower unit.
Wow, that's a lot to deal with.
Yeah, before, like iba't ibang developer, we used to encounter this things. Yeah, these problems. Hindi lang once, talagang marami sila. Kaya nagkaroon kami ng mga guidelines with the tenants na ganito. Yeah. Kasi si tenant and then si owner din yung magkaka-problem after the move out.
That's not as much of a problem in like actual homes, no? Because they have waterproofing.
Yes.
Tapos minsan yung mga cabinets nila, bato na.
Yes. Actual homes. And then wala kang madadamage na lower unit.
It's really just your house that you have to worry about instead of mga kasi dugtong-dugtong talaga yung mga condo units. That puts it into perspective.
Yeah, recently we had experience like this. Like parang it's a semi-high-end property here in Makati. And then the leak coming from the sink, not actually in the grease trap, from the sink, naiwan ng occupants yung faucet na on. Parang ang nangyari is on, tapos nagbabukas sila ng water. So, nung nagpabukas ng water, naka-switch on pala yung faucet ng sink. Ngayon, nakasara yung parang ng sink, yung drain ng sink, nakasara. Pag naka-off yun, naka-push down yun, naka-off. So, nag-overflow. Nung nag-overflow yung water, dahil walang waterproofing, yung lower unit, come from 20th floor, 21 floor na damage yung kitchen cabinet niya, and then lower cabinet niya. Then yung 22nd and 23rd floor na damage din.
Oh my God.
Dire-diretso pa baba.
That's really bad.
Yeah. So, those are the major. It's very simple, like yung mga ganong prevention. Pero if parang pinabayaan natin yung ganong kasimple, it will cause major damages.
It literally cascades.
Yes.
Oh my God. I didn't know it would get that bad just from water damage alone. Delikado talaga. But
Mm-mm.
it's really good that you mentioned this now so that at least we're aware of the problem. How hard is it to deal with tenants who are pet owners?
Oh wow, good questions. Yes.
I'm a pet owner, by the way.
Yeah, okay. I also have pet also.
Oh.
Actually, recently we had, because some of the, especially Asian now,
Hmm.
I'm not sure how was the, like, how many percentage, but most recently we had like major percentage of our tenant has pet.
Hmm.
Like they're requesting that they're looking for unit with pet, and then like most of our owners naman is okay with it as long as we have pet addendum, like pet
Mm.
addendum contract. um if I am the owner and then I have a pet addendum contract, and then I'm okay with pet, I should provide like a furnitures that not so fabric, then not
Mm.
leather, like could be scratch proof if there's a furniture, because we had some units that yun nga may scratch proof. And then yung problem with pet is, yes, if you can provide those furnitures, ang problem naman yung flooring mo naman hindi tiles. If tiles,
Mm.
it's okay, it's
Oh,
easy
okay.
to clean.
Okay.
Like nag poop sila, nagwiwi sila, it's easy to clean, it's easy to wipe. Tapos ang problem lang if it's wood planks or yung mga laminated wood, kasi may mga edging yon, and then yung mga connection point no na may mga guhit, doon pumapasok yung wiwi. It's a matter of second lang pag nag ano ang pet doon, kahit pupunasan mo na siya, nakapag-absorb na siya.
That's really
Unlike
bad. I did not know.
tiles. Oo. So, meron kaming ganyan. Siguro tinolerate niya yung pet niya na ganun kasi it's after the move out, it's so parang you can smell the pet everywhere. You can actually know the breed of the pet pagka if it's cat or dog, pagpasok mo pa lang ng property. So yes, it's okay to the tenant that he will shoulder the restorations, and then we also explain to them what we're gonna do with the unit. So what we did is, yes, we need to paint because yung smell kumapit na, we need to paint, especially kapag matte yung paint. For example, yung mga turnover paint lang matte, mabilis kumapit dyan.
Oh no. Okay.
Oo, ang smell ng pet. If yung unit mo is yun nga, na paint mo na siya ng mga glossy paint, yung mga uso ngayon, tapos yung mga mas madali siyang tanggalin yung amoy. Kasi pwede mo siyang basain, yung mga ganong paint, tapos pwede mong scrubin, pwede mong punasan.
Hindi masyado siyang nakakapit
Yes,
because of the paint tech. Okay.
Hindi katulad sa matte paint, mas mabilis siyang kumapit. Ngayon, doon naman sa flooring issue is if it's wood plank, you need to dismantle those wood planks. Para lang naman siyang puzzle, madali siyang i-dismantle. Ang pinaka-lock niya is yung baseboard. Pag tinanggal mo yung baseboard, doon mo na siya tatanggalin isa-isa.
Okay. Do you have to replace the wood itself na? Or do you
It
just
depends.
clean?
Kapag medyo sobrang nag-absorb na siya ng water, medyo magba-bloated na siya. So, ngayon, usually kasi yung ganun mga wood planks, hindi yung wood planks mismo yung nag-absorb. Ang nag-absorb lang yung wood planks kapag babad na talaga yung urine ng pets.
Okay.
Ang pinaka nag-absorb niyan, after ng wood planks, below the wood planks, yung underneath niya, meron siyang foam. Yun yung nag-absorb.
No.
Yun yung pinaka nag-aamoy, nag-i-stack.
So,
kahit punasan mo na yung flooring mo, parang
kumakapit na talaga sa foam.
nagtataka yung mga occupants, bakit may amoy pa din? Pinunasan ko na, nilinis ko na yung buong living room ko, Pero actually, na-absorb na yun ng foam na nasa ilalim ng wood planks.
Can you also replace the foam?
Yes, you can also replace the foam.
But is it expensive?
The foam is not expensive. The expensive is the labor nung
kasi
pag-dismantle
babaklasin mo
ng
yung
wood planks. Pero if you know how to do it, hindi naman ganun din kadali. Kasi para lang siyang puzzle, tas bubuin mo lang ulit.
But it's still time and labor.
Yes, it's
Tapos
still time and labor.
Di mo pwedeng gamitin yung floor mo kasi syempre nabaklas na eh. Okay.
Yes.
So were you able to ask them what they did with their pets so that it didn't leave a smell.
Yes. Actually, I'm always asking those tenants. We have some tenants na talagang kahit may pet sila, they can still maintain yung parang cleanliness nung property. So I'm asking them, most of them is talagang sinasabi sa akin is they are like yung regular bath nung mga pets.
Okay.
So, and then yun nga, meron naka-organize yung kung saan sila may cat litter doon or pet litter doon. Tapos hindi sila basta-basta nagpupupo or nagwiwiwi kung saan saang area. So parang they taught yung mga pet kung saan talaga yung pinaka poop and wiwi. And then they're just always cleaning the house, fabric cleaning, yes. So I believe that there's a lot of pet that can like teach, like a teachable.
Teachable moments sa mga alaga.
Yung pag hindi na to tolerate yung mga parang mga pagkagat-kagat dito, pagwiwiwi dito. So yun yung mga common answers ng mga tenants ng mga tinatanong ko after they move out.
Talagang responsable sila, tapos regular yung maintenance
Yung
nila,
maintenance
since they
na.
know that having pets means more expectations on cleanliness, no?
Yes.
So what happens to the furniture that you can't save? Like yung mga beds or yung mga couches na nangat-ngat na ng sobra.
Yeah. It depends on the arrangement of the owner. But most of the owners, syempre, they will demand to replace it. Especially pag may mga ngat na dito, may mga ganyan na. Aside from the amoy. Kasi yung amoy kaya pantanggalin yun eh. Pero yung mga ngat-ngat. It depends. So, if we explain it to the tenant, yung at first kagad na ganito, kasi using our pet addendum, it was parang there's a clause there that explaining those things if damaged. These things is subject for replacement kagad. Doon pa lang from the start, it's better. Because if you don't have pet addendum or like any arrangement with the tenant, like this is the risk of having a pet, this is the contract. Pagka nag-move out sila, sobrang hirap sa kanilang ipa-replace yun.
Okay.
Parang ipa-repair. So, after no, ang ginagawa namin, replacement na talaga, tapos pinupull out na yung mga furnitures na nangat-ngat. Tapos papalitan na ng bago yun.
Alright, yeah, that makes sense. So, to sum up everything we've discussed so far, boiling water if we've, in the kitchen sink specifically, if you've been gone from the unit for a while. Hardware store has a lot of really important stuff like the polyurethane PPR pipes and the drainage covers, because even though we clean really well, insects can come from adjacent units. For the love of God, clean up your grease trap unless you want to pay for 2 to 3 units worth of water damages, because if you don't clean it every 3 to 6 months, then your cabinets will get water damaged, and then it'll overflow all the way down to the other units.
Yeah,
and then if you have, especially if you have wooden floors, please make sure your pets don't damage them. Otherwise, baka kailangan ibaklasan yung floors mo para ilinis yung baseboards, and worst case scenario, i-replace yung foam. Did I get all that?
Yes, that's true.
All right, so that's everything so far. We'll just take a short break to, refuel, space out a little bit, get some water in our systems, and then we'll be back for even more questions and picking Sir Ian's brain.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for following so far, and we'll be right back.
For all of your property needs, come to Global Strategy Real Estate, GSR. We at GSR are your one-stop shop for anything related to your property and more. From management to buying, selling, documentation, and maintenance, we have your back. At GSR, we aspire to provide the level of quality and service which put Japan on the map as one of the hallmarks of hospitality. Let us manage your property today.
And we're back. Once again, this is the GSR podcast on little cleaning tips to make a big difference, where we are joined by the GSR property management head, Mr. Ian Cipriano.
Hello.
Once again, I'm your host, Jose Angelo Zilweta, and now let's cover some more cleaning tips so that we can save money and not screw over our units while we're living there. Okay, sir. I have an interesting question. What are I hope this is interesting. What are the most consistently expensive repairs that the tenants have to go through when they're done living in the units?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and what's like the most expensive repair job you've had to see
it's
for restoration?
interesting. there's a different category on the like the damages and then repairs. For example, one of the expensive one is appliances.
Okay.
So we had those like problem with appliances. For example, there's some condominium, they deliver the unit like for the electrical outlet. They do have 110 volts for electrical outlets.
Oh no.
And then other outlets is 220. So syempre most of the tenants like
220 palagi naman yung mga appliances
yes,
namin ngayon, di ba?
usually talaga dapat 220 and then we should deliver 220 volts. But there's some condominiums I will not mention the developer.
Oh no.
They put 110 in the kitchen area. It's because of the freebies of the microwave oven. This is a freebies for the But syempre hindi lang microwave oven yung isasaksak doon. So yun, doon nagkakaroon ng dami. Even we put a note already
na 110
na 110 use 110. And then we place the oven there. So yun nga, na accidentally nasasaksakan pa nila. So yun, nasisira yung board, nasisira yung So yun din. And then
if the board breaks, does that affect the whole floor
that
or just the unit itself?
Just the unit. That's just the
Okay,
appliances
thank God.
unit. Yeah. But the problem is the board is the most expensive parts of the appliances.
Kano ka siya?
Parang halos nasa na yan, 60% to 70% ng price ng appliances. Because ito yung parang brain niya, ito yung pinaka-function operator niya eh. So, ang appliances marami doon expensive. For example, yung refrigerator, they are moving it. Naaalog-alog siya, then they will use it kagad. Yun, nasisira kasi gumagalaw yung yun, nasisira, umaalog. So, minsan, nagugulat sila, hindi na lumalamig yung refrigerator ko. So, maraming cost na medyo mahal kapag appliances yung usapan. And then, aircon, they are not taking care of the aircon usage, parang 24/7, no cleaning, like this. Dun, nasisira din ang board. Especially lahat ng karamihan sa appliances natin na modern appliances ngayon is board operated na. Parang digital na siya, the remote na siya. Hindi na yung mga manually operated na appliances. Mas matibay pa nga for me, yung mga manually. Medyo mas mahal lang sila sa kuryente. Pero actually mas matibay pa rin yung mga. Tsaka mas madaling i-repair kasi parts lang.
Is it possible to lower the cost by using inverters on manual appliances like air conditioning? Kaya naman ba yan?
Yes. Okay. Actually, it can be low. I'm not sure how much would be the percentage. Yung mga may less natin na percentage, pero definitely talaga siya. Kasi may automatic ang inverter. For example, nakuha na niya yung right amount of yung ng lamig, nagme-maintain na yung niya. Yung parang hindi na gumagana yung compressor niya. So hindi na siya yung parang tuloy-tuloy na nagpapalamig na So parang meron siyang nagti-trigger, may stopper siya na parang pag nakuha na niya yung yung lamig, hihinto na siya. Kaya sobrang importante rin kapag naka-aircon kayo, hindi dapat nakabukas ang pintana, hindi dapat nakabukas ang pintuan. So kasi pag ganun, lalo na't hindi kayang i-accommodate ng aircon yung area talaga, tapos tuloy-tuloy lumalabas din yung lamig niya, nahihirapan siya. Lumalakas yung usage ng electricity, masisira din yung aircon, pwedeng masira. So parang kasi nahihirapan siya. Ang inverter kasi design siya para pag na-maintain niya, mag-stop na siya. Pero kung tuloy-tuloy siyang gumagana, hindi niya na maintain. Ibig sabihin may problema na sa area. May nag-exit yung lamig na binubugan niya. So yun. And then yung mga paint scratches very minimal lang eh. Most of the expensive talaga is yung about the appliances.
Or yung furniture na
yung furniture ng pet. Or yun, napabayaan mo yung flooring. If it's engineer wood or wood planks, napabayaan mo nag-leak. Yung flooring
kailangan i-replace yung mga ibang planks.
Yes, kapag na-replace yun
labor and time intensive rin siya, no?
Yes, kasi ang kunyari sabihin natin 30 square meter could be 1 bedroom or studio, tas i-replace mo yun ng wood planks dahil nag-bloated. One of the example one of the scenario kung bakit nagbo-bloated ang mga wooden planks. For example, walang laundry area yung unit kasi studio and 1 bedroom lang siya. Doon sila naglaba sa CR. Tapos doon na rin sila nag-dry doon sa tapat
CR.
ng bintana kasi may sunlight. Kaya minsan nakakita kami drying rack sa tapat ng bintana after the move out. Doon sila nag-dry. Tapos yun, na-absorb na yan. Nagbo-bloated na yung mga And then aircon leaking na napabayaan, hindi kini-cleaning, tuloy-tuloy yung leak papunta sa flooring. Yun. Nadadamage yung wall, yung flooring yan. Ayan yung mga reason kung bakit nasisira yung mga flooring. Now, that's the reason na pwede rin namin i-replace yung mga wooden floorings. It will cost you 100,000 more or less for 30 square meter.
That's
labor
a
and
lot
materials.
more than expected. I thought it would be 5 digits, mid 5 digits at most, pero 100K minimum.
Not minimum, average siguro. Depende if it's engineer wood, will cost you much. If it's
more.
normal wooden planks,
Okay, it's cheaper.
It's cheaper.
Of course. But
siguro may suggestion or advice for the unit owners. If the tenant na-damage na yung wood planks, wag na natin ibalik yung wood planks kasi it's for iba-iba yung tenant na pwede natin makuha, di ba? So, for me, we use like SPC, yung mga stone composite plastic materials, yung parang stone plastic composite
Cement?
materials. It's a wood design din siya, may plain design. Para rin siyang wood planks in size, pahaba. Tapos ina-assemble, dinidikit lang siya sa flooring. It's waterproof. Kahit mabasa siya, okay lang.
Okay.
Oh.
So now there's an alternative. So it looks like wood. It's just not wood.
Yes. It's not wood. It's like plastic, like a
A
PV.
composite material.
Yeah, composite materials.
SPC, so stone plastic, maybe cement, maybe the C stands
It's
for
scratch
cement.
proof also with the pet.
Oh, okay.
So it's good. Kahit may siya. Yung iba, nilalagyan pa siya ng foam. Pero kasi si SPC kasi meron na siyang rubber na maliit sa ilalim. Tapos yun na lang yung ididikit nila.
Okay. So it makes sure that the foam under isn't damaged either?
Mm.
Or does the rubber replace the foam?
No need foam.
Okay,
pwede
because the
na.
rubber replaces the
Yeah,
foam
the
part
rubber
for
replaces the
insulation.
foam.
Okay. So that's really good advice for future homeowners to replace wooden planks with SPC. Halos parehas ba yung presyo nila?
Mas mahal ng konti. Sa labor, halos parehas lang sila pag i-install, dismantle. Pero hindi ganun kalayo yung price. Tapos mas quality siya, mas durable, and then mas proof dun sa water leaking, sa pet scratch, mas siya. May proof siya doon.
Okay. That's really good to know that such technology exists now. On the topic of leaking, I wanted to ask, what are your preventative and, already there measures when it comes to mold? Because, I remember going to one of the building management seminars that happened, I think this or last month. And two of the primary sponsors there were two popular paint brands that recommended that, you apply layers of waterproofing paint in this order and that order when you have the units or your houses and the like, so that it prevents mold damage and stuff. Do you do that for units as well? What do you do if there's mold, and what can you do to prevent it aside from using paint or water sealant stuff? What's it like?
Actually, yes. Actually, yung paint is one of the major solution para sa molds.
Okay.
Pero meron din mga paint, pag ibang paint is talagang kapitin ng molds. So, yung katulad ng mga regular matte paint na parang mga primer paint, yan, kinakapitan ng molds yan.
So not just mold, but also, odor. Doesn't that just mean matte paints?
Yes. Actually, yes. Ang ganda kasi sa matte paint, the reason why they are using matte paint kasi, kaya niyang dayain yung mga parang uneven wall. For example, may bukol yung wall, they're using matte paint. Hindi mo na siya halata.
So it's aesthetically pleasing. That's the trade-off. Okay.
Oh,
What about
kasi
the others?
pag glossy paint mo siya, tapos uneven yung wall, kitang-kita mo yung glossy. Halatang-halata yung parang So, hindi ko naman sinasabing ganoon, pero para kumbaga madaya na pantay yung wall. Oh. So, Yung glossy paint kasi, yes, ano siya. Tapos, lalo na may mga mold-proof na paint. It's good. Usually, ginagamit to sa outside paint, sa labas. Kasi rain or shine, yan yung nag-ano ng mold. Basta may tubig. And then yung dahilan kasi ng mold sa loob ng unit, sa interior, it's especially pag natututukan ng aircon.
Okay.
Yan ang mga madalas minomold yung natutukan ng aircon.
Or the bathrooms?
Or the bathrooms, yes. Kasi may mga parang lamig and water, na yung wall, parang nagre-react siya. Tapos doon na. So, pag sa bathrooms, yes, kaya madalas nakakita ng bathroom, tinatiles na nila yung wall, hindi lang yung flooring. Para hindi mag-molds yun. Pag nababasa kasi yun, mag-molds talaga. Parang sa labas, naglulumot siya. Parang ganun din yung molds. So, yes, paint, one of the solution. Secondly, yun nga, tawag dito, kung kahit naka-paint ka na, kailangan mo pa rin talagang punas-punasan. Lalo na, nag-uumpisa yung parang may black na malilit, nakala mo dust lang, alabok. Pero sila na yun,
dry cloth ba yung gagamitin?
Kahit yung yung rug na talagang basa, wag mo na lang ikalat. Pagkabasa, pigat. Kasi pag kinalat mo siya, yan nga, andun pa rin siya. Tapos may mga mold spray. Yeah. Basta, yung wall paint mo is yun nga, anti-molds, tapos glossy siya para madaling linisin.
Alright. So as a breakdown for those, then SPC composites exist so that you can replace wood planks because it's usually the floors or appliances that rack up the most expenses when you have your homes after. With furniture being a close second, no?
Yes,
furniture replacement and the like. Please, for the sake of your bank account, do not fiddle with 110 volt outlets. Is there no way to replace them with 220, or is that?
There's a way actually.
But does that involve the board?
What we did is kasi yung board, it might happen also if we replace the board, next tenant might happen again. Like that. Even we have a notice already. So what we did is replace the microwave as 220 kasi sira na rin siya instead of buying new board. And then replace the outlet 220. If we replace the outlet for 220, we should also replace the breaker. So it's connected. So
is that expensive?
A little expensive, but it's more safer for the tenant. And then like prevent again to happen yung ganon.
Tapos sa mga ibang mga 110 aren't there like converters for that?
Yes, transformer. Yeah, we have transformer. But yun nga ang magiging problem if it's placed in the kitchen and then your transformer should be placed also in the kitchen.
Baka mabasa.
Yeah, baka mabasa.
So basically, one of the morals of the story is where possible, try not to buy 110 appliances.
Yeah. It happens only because it's like free delivery of the during the turnover. It's like a freebies.
It's a ticking time bomb. But that makes sense. Oh, right. And as for mold, paint is really good. Matte paint looks great, but it's best to either relayer it with glossy paint or try to figure out if you can coat the matte paint with something so that the mold doesn't stick and so that smells don't stick. Mold needs to be cleaned ASAP, so I guess mold sprays are one, or is it possible to clean them off with dish soap, baking soda, and lemons? Because that's like my go-to home remedy for most cleaning. For like
as long as you are cleaning the molds.
Yay! Yay! It still works. Let's go. All right. So I guess that's about everything that we were able to cover today. Thank you so much for joining us,
Thank you so
Sir
much.
Ian.
Yeah.
You were super great today. I learned so much, and I can't wait to apply them and to kill a bunch of freaking bugs dead in my kitchen sink with the boiling water later. So for everyone who enjoyed this and for everyone who wants to see more of us, please go ahead and follow us on social media. We're going to flash a QR to our link tree shortly that you can just scan and then follow for all of our socials. Or you can just look for us on pretty much every single social media platform at GSR Philippines. That's at GSR Philippines. We also have a website where we pretty much explain everything we can do and more that you can contact us in. And that's at www.gsr-ph.com. That's www.gsr-ph.com. If you liked this podcast and you want to listen to it again, or you want to see what other podcast episodes we have them up on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube Music. Also, we are foraying into the building management sector of business. So for building management inquiries, please go ahead and email us at bm@gsr-ph.com. That is bm@gsr-ph.com. The BM stands for building management and not bad manners, as as most com shop veterans know it. But is there anything else you'd like to plug for us today, Sir Ian?
We are like bringing the Japan building management here in Philippines. We have started couple of buildings to manage here in Makati and Manila area. And then we're still looking forward to get other buildings that having a problem managing their properties. So we are catering leasing, maintenance, engineering, documentation when it comes on managing building, especially the accounting management and then the ROI of this building. So you just need to email us for inquiries at bm@gsr-ph.com.
All right.
Thank you.
You heard it here first, folks. If you have any building management stuff with regards to accounting, especially with regards to ROIs, please go ahead and contact Sir Ian or the GSR company at the email we repeated like 3 or 4 times that will still bother flashing on the screen because, yes, that's how it works. Anyway, this has been the GSR podcast with Mr. Ian Cipriano.
Thank you.
And I've been your host, Jose Angelo Zalweta. See you guys next time. Bye!